Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Paramount Residential Mortgage Group.
In today's mortgage environment, providing our wholesale community with the best combination of product, pricing, technology, and service is paramount to their success. PRMG, built by originators for originators.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway. It's created exclusively for Mortgage News Network, brought to you by our friends at PRMG. Lots to talk about. Let's try and knock it out. So first of all, last week we had lots of news and some media lies. What a surprise. So we got a lot of housing data, and it was really good. We got Case-Shiller came out with accelerating appreciation, FHFA, accelerating appreciation. Housing market looking really, really strong. In addition to that, last week we did get news that perhaps we were going to be closer to a deal with China, according to some tweets from President Trump. Stocks reacted favorably, bonds not so much. And then we got some important inflation data. And that inflation data came in saying that the number that the Fed watches most closely, the personal consumption expenditure, known as PCE, did rise from 1.6% to 1.8%. So it made quite the jump. But mortgage bonds kind of took it in stride, which was a good thing. We were a little worried about that, if you remember last week, saying that, hey, I think it'll be okay heading into Friday, but a little bit concerned about that. Now, we did have some turbulence midweek, of course, causing us to lock interim during the week. But let's see going into this week how bonds respond, with the big news being the jobs report. And that's always going to cause a lot of headline risk, could cause rates to move in a volatile manner. And where we are right now, we are kind of in a very tight range being squeezed. So the breakout to either direction will be exacerbated. So I expect some volatility this week, especially upon the release of the jobs number on Friday. Now, I did mention some media lies, so I just want to focus on that for a moment. Got news from Adam. Now, anytime you see something from Florida Atlantic University or Adam on housing, you know that you have to really, really take it with a grain of salt, and you really have to read the fine print, because they always come out with these outrageous headlines almost every single time, very negative about housing. So they've been wrong the last 7 years, we know that. But once you read deeply, you find how manipulative they are and how this is just BS. So essentially what they say is 74%, Adam, 74% of properties not affordable. Wow, that sounds pretty bad. Why is appreciation going up? Why is the housing market so strong? Why are sales accelerating? Matter of fact, last week, new home sales hit a 12-year high. The amount of sales, according to the National Association of Realtors, on pending home sales contracts accelerating. How could that be if nobody could afford to buy a home? I mean, 74% of people. Well, look, the standard for affordability, government standard, is you take the median income and you take it versus the median home price based upon the current rate with a 20% down payment. But not Adam. Adam wants to move the goalpost so they can sensationalize it, have a headline that scares people, and selfishly get people to read their stuff so that they could say, oh my gosh, and be afraid. And by doing that, get more visitors to their site, charge more for advertising. It's all just a game. But unfortunately, people who listen to it fall prey, and it's up to you to be able to explain it. So here's what Adam did. Adam said, forget the government standard. What do they know? What does anybody know? 20% down? No, let's make it 3% down. They don't tell you what factor they use for MI, but you better believe it's not cheap. And obviously, if you're financing 17% more, you're going to have a much higher payment. Less people are going to be able to qualify. And then they go and restrict it with a 28% front ratio. When was the last time you did a loan where you were restricted by a 28% front ratio? So it's all gimmick. It's all BS. But then even deeper than that, when you read deeper, and it just gets worse, everything you read, they say that like 300 counties, it was so terrible. Now there's 3,400 counties in the United States. So they focused on these 300. They took a sample size of 498. Curious as to why they chose this odd number of 498. Probably because the higher they went, the better the data would be. And they don't want that. Goodness sakes, no. That wouldn't get as many visitors or create as much fear. So of these 498, almost 200 of these counties actually were more affordable. And the big cities, of course, as we know, are getting a little bit less affordable. Now, listen, team, I'll tell you this. Every housing market across the United States, median home price or lower, it's on fire. Median home price or lower, it's on fire. Above median home price, the further away you get above the median home price, the tighter the housing market, the more difficult the housing market is there, and the longer sales will sit. So the housing market will get softer the higher you go above a median home price. And that's really basically where the housing market is right now. Again, once again this week, watch out for that jobs number on Friday. Get on MBS Highway so we can protect you. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.
PRMG continues to provide our wholesale partners across the nation with better technology, better product, better pricing, and better service. Our nationally recognized brand is more than just an image. It is a symbol of integrity. PRMG, built by originators for originators. Be sure to click on the link below for your free 30-day MBS Highway trial.
This is Mortgage News Network.